Hey, all my little sinners and saints. Tonight we got another gruesome little story to tell. So let's get into it. Didn't find a whole lot on this, but we'll see what we got. That's not what we got. Okay, this is Allison Simpson. It would probably be better. Let me see if I played this first. Maybe this would refresh your memory on who this lady is. If I can get my internet to work. Maybe.
I took him to my house, walked him down the street. I don't know why the media acts like the motherfucker couldn't walk. He walked very well. Walked him upstairs, kicked his ass, and killed him.
And again, your belief is that he's a snitch because he
Right.
told you. You claimed that other people had killed in that same, or you had killed other people. And you killed them.
No, I've never killed anyone else.
So that
There we go. There we go. Okay. Her characteristics were torture and dismemberment. And she's pretty damn sadistic. So let's get this party started. Maybe, possibly. Could be.
If you don't speak, then you won't get spoken to. People only see you when you up, then they notice you. Trying to be a legend, create lines is quotable. We don't need a real shot last, and I only know a few. People when they feelings always acting emotional. Ain't about a check, then it ain't negotiable. Gotta show respect to the people that's posting you. Soon to be on posters posted up like the older dudes. Now we aging like fine wine. How we supposed to do? Peep the shade on the timelines. This time posted. Shit is black and white like photos from a disposable. Certain situations you ain't end up uncontrollable. All up in their head, I be so confused. I just brush it off, take the shoulder rules. We all got the same 24, so it's no excuse. Switch it up. We can rap or produce the things you can't have. This forbidden fruit. It seems like people love telling lies on me. You know that I'm the one they got their eyes on me. You know I'm here to stay in, I won't leave. We do this for the fans, for your eyes only. Just watch closely, but they all gon' see. They don't fuck with us, but they still gon' pray. Don't talk to me, man, you gotta show me. If it ain't ISO, then it ain't in this isolation from all negativity. They try to win over, but can't get rid of me. We gon' do our thing until infinity. Beware the industry, please stay in control of your dignity. People fidgety, that's why they can't sue me. Y'all full of bigotry, puffin' on these nicotine. Please never let another man belittle me. Take away my liberty and search for positivity. It seems like people love telling lies on me. You know that I'm the one they got their eyes on me. You know I'm here to stay in, I won't leave. We do this for the fans, for your eyes only. Just watch closely, but they all gon' see. They don't fuck with us, but they still gon' pray. Don't talk to me, man, you gotta show me. If it ain't ISO, then it ain't in days, yeah.
Okay. Welcome to the dark side. Now, there's not, believe it or not, a lot of information out there on this case. So one day, stop your little moving thing. The police department gets a call saying that there's a trash can on fire. thought I had a trash can that was on fire. Boom, there's a trash can on fire. And it's beside a church. And so, they don't take it too seriously, but they get out there to put it out, obviously. They call the fire department and get out there. When they get out there, they find human remains that are partially dismembered. The legs were detached from the body. The body was burned. The only way that they knew, they couldn't identify the body, but the only way that they knew if it was male or female is because the genital area was still intact. The mouth that had missing teeth had been pulled out. At this point, not really sure if they knew that or not, but like I said, they couldn't identify the body. They got partial fingerprints, and whenever the fingerprints come back, it was 46-year-old Terry Nelly, Millie. And he had been beaten. He had multiple blunt force trauma to the head, 50 stab wounds all over his body, and some of them had been healing. He had a nail in his skull, and he was still alive when the nail was in the skull. And he had his teeth pulled out. The coroner ruled it a homicide by strangulation. Terry got around by a motorized wheelchair, but he could walk. So, not really sure if, he had back injury, leg injury, what, but he did, he could get around. And he had a lot of mental disabilities, even though there's no information on what the mental disabilities were. And this was one of his friends, Angela Simpson. I don't really know what to say about her other than the guards are even scared of her. I don't know. I'm not the type of person where just because you kill somebody, it makes me scared of you. Um, it makes me cautious of you, but the guards, which is smart, take very cautious, I don't know if it's a word, caution whenever they're dealing with her. But everybody around is like, she's scary. She ain't scary. If she's that crazy or if she's mentally ill, which she is mentally ill, and couldn't find too much on her background. Let me see what I got. She was abused. Do note she was a prostitute, and she started prostituting at an early age. She had 4 children. She never wants to discuss her children. She won't discuss those children. And she was born in 1975. She was in and out of mental hospitals. Um, she was diagnosed with mental disorders, even though we're not really given what those mental disorders were. Um, like I said, there's not much information. She did have a rough childhood amidst to her family being in prison, you'll see, and she was in and out of foster care. She lived on the streets, and the reason that her and Terry were friends is because sex and drugs. So that's how everything comes into play. Do know when they got there and they realized that this is this person and he's supposed to be in a wheelchair, the wheelchair was missing. They couldn't find it. They couldn't find it in garbage cans, couldn't find it behind the Dollar General. They couldn't find it anywhere. So they knew if they could find that a wheelchair, they could find where the person that had it got rid of it. And my thought was, I don't know what, I think it was 2009 this went on, but I'm thinking like, what about like Facebook Marketplace or whatever it's called? But anyway, the cops realized that Terry lived in a what you call a care facility. I think because of maybe his mental illness, I'm not for sure. Let me get on through some of these. That is Terry, and that was what. Oh, I got it almost right. Look at me. I want to skip through the pictures because it's, the it says pictures. It doesn't give you too much there. And Terry was last seen at the care facilities. He had been missing for 3 days. This really bothers me because he was missing for 3 days and the care facility didn't call 911, didn't call anybody to say, hey, one of our patients that's here every single day, that we look after is missing. What kind of care do these people give, the patients that live there? Okay, so the cops are looking at the security cameras from the care facility outside the building, and at 8 o'clock, he was seen leaving on August 2nd in his little motorized wheelchair. Okay. There was also a cable wrapped around. She took a cable as well and strangled him and held him in front of a mirror so he could watch uh, himself being strangled. She said the only regret that she had is that instead of torturing him for 3 days, that she would have tortured him for 7. Um, the reason that she actually got caught into this is because her and this guy did an armed robbery. So the cops brought him in and they started figuring it out. Police shocked the media by saying that they had arrested someone. They were just trying to, they were lying to the public about arresting somebody, but they figured, maybe that would help out in some way. This guy's name, if you can read his beautiful, beautiful tattoo. I'm so jealous. I'm wondering where he got that, especially the neck tattoo. Those are always awesome. His name and nickname is Cracker. His real name is Edward McFarlane. And he was with Angela, an armed robbery. And of course, she gets caught. Kind of want to. This is another picture of him. Let me stop sharing this one. Because she did some heinous shit. She acts like she just killed him and beat him and all this crap, and it was over, but it wasn't. The woman who freely admitted in the jailhouse interviews to committing one of the most gruesome murders in Phoenix history will spend the rest of her natural life in prison. I would like to look up this interview. I'll leave a link in the description for the interview. She's, I don't know. I don't want to use the word odd because obviously there's some mental illness, but I don't know if she's just trying to play crazy. Like she said, oh, everybody will murder. Yins want to murder me. And what makes that any different than what I did? And, I mean, she just absolutely, there was over 50 stab wounds in him, a nail in his head. He was strangled by a wire. He was set on fire. Whenever she was doing something and he would pass out, she would take what do you call it, a butane, like not a lighter, but a butane tank or whatever it is. I would remember if I wasn't trying to, but would take that and light the back of his body, like burn him and stuff to get him to wake up. But detectives called the murder of Terry Neely one of the most worst crimes they had ever seen. According to the police, Simpson, now 36, lured Neely to her apartment with promises of sex and drugs. Once there, she tortured him, killed him, dismembered him. Simpson made Neely, who was confined to a wheelchair, he wasn't confined to the wheelchair. He could walk. Watch in the mirror as she beat him, stabbed him, pulled out his teeth. The torture went on for 3 days. According to the autopsy results, Terry sustained multiple blunt force head trauma, head injuries, and a 3-inch nail had been driven or hammered into his brain. He was stabbed approximately 50 times. His throat was sliced and he was dismembered. I beat him to death. I killed him and cut him up, Simpson told 3TV in a jailhouse interview shortly after her arrest in 2009. The day she was sentenced, Simpson said she would have preferred to have kept Neely alive and tortured him for a week. And I'll also put the link to this because it goes on with a lot of stuff about her. You know, she is just a disgusting person, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say about her. I mean, who does that? Whenever you think of overkill, it's like, damn, that's beyond overkill. Okay, I also watched the behavior panel to kind of get a little insight on what they thought about her. They thought she was a psychopath, skillful. She redirected the interview questions. She is confrontational. Common ground is what it's called. Her breathing rate was around 50, which is high, and she's breathing in her chest and not her abdomen. Her hair was fixed. So, I mean, you know, she had got ready for the interview. She needs a reaction. That is her reward. She has a low blink rate at points. Her lip licking seems to be a baseline, like she does it just normally. Her cadence was fine at first, but then it kind of changed. So there started out maybe some truth and then lies. The hair checklist, I'd like for y'all to check that out. I'll also leave a link to that. Let me make sure I get that. But she chaffs and redirects. She's fabricated, manufactured, and crafted. She has fading facts where, like, to say, I'm going to the store to get bread. And then a fading fact would be, I'm going to the store, you know, to get bread, where it lightens up. Her answer gets quieter. That's the fading facts. And she's got life in prison. She actually said that she would rather that she had been killed, that they give her the death sentence. I think that living her life out in prison will be good. She did say in the interview, you will see that she's got family members. I don't know if she's considering other prisoners family members or what, but she said she had a bunch of sisters. So they just sentenced her to spend the rest of her life with her family, is what she said. So I don't know. I don't even know what to say about this woman. Anyway, I will do the links in the description box. Thank you for joining me. And as always, I will see you later. Bye.